Alright, in today's morning video, I'm going to be going and speaking about something that I just thought was sort of like a demeaning figure in society at the moment. We've seen a lot of this happen throughout our days, most likely. If you're watching the video, maybe you'll understand this. There was a post that someone made just speaking about how this lady went around in a neighborhood and knocked on a door. And of course, what's that going to spark? Right? Someone knocked on your door, right? Like someone knocked on your door and now you're freaking out and you're scared, you're terrified because someone did that. Look, this isn't something that's late at night, like at 10 o'clock at night or something, or even for that matter, like 6 a.m. And even if someone did that, you might be wondering, hey, maybe I'll look through a window and see what's going on first before I come and open the door. Maybe you want to just make sure that that area where you're going to, when you open that door, will be safe. Lady posts about that, and I'm not going to go into details with any names, but it was a community watch post that I was in, group anyways, and the lady on there, I read all the comments and I commented on it. I'm like, hey, I think like there might be some fear mongering in this like going on, right? Like I feel like someone might be a little too afraid. Like someone knocked on your door, they would like to make friends. And I'm not saying that if you thought of anything other than that you would be crazy, but no, there's a lot of people that would go out fear mongering, being like, oh, someone knocked on my door. And it's almost like the same thing as saying, oh my God, there's a tree outside. Like, why is it there? I don't know. You're panicking. People are often afraid of things that they don't know or don't understand. And that's sort of just what I'm really getting at when I'm speaking about this. The lady I found out later, in question, someone, just to make it clear, was like, so everyone knows, like, I wasn't out there to like create fear or anything. And I think we all sort of knew that in the beginning, but it's like if there's probably is that type of person that might like swoop in and do that. So everyone's like, no, like don't do that. Like please don't come in here and start having the fear mongering. Next thing you'll know is like people that, well, she shouldn't have been doing it. She's got problems. Hey there, bucko. And then, it just exasperates like a big dilemma. And we just want people to know that instead of just thinking about the one thing, like, oh, saying, for an example, oh, like, I'm scared of this type of person or that type of person. I'm scared of people with like glasses or like whatever, right? People that have like spiky hair and piercings. Like, you are saying that before you go out and actually speak with that person. So you don't really know too much about them. You don't really know anything at all, which I guess can be scary, but imagine if you're going out there in the world and you saw someone, you didn't understand it, you're all alone. Would you be scared of that person or would you just stay away from them? Like, people are meant to help each other out. That's why we are where we are as a society. Of course, some people aren't growing in the relationship value, and most likely that may have something to do with the fact they just don't want to be around certain people or whatever, which I guess is okay to an extent. Like, there's some people want to be loners or left alone. But going out there and actually like just saying things like how naive you would have to be to just say, "Oh my God, there's someone went up to my door and knocked on it." Like, fuck, it could have been the Amazon person for crying out loud. It could have been like a delivery person that knocked on the wrong door, right? And had food back in the vehicle because they didn't want to bring it out, right? And they may not be wearing like a completed uniform. They don't always do that. Like you're going out, you're delivering people's foods. Like that's all. Like you knock on someone's door, you can tell almost right away what their intentions are instead of like having them go out there and like attack you. They're most likely not going to do that. Like I would say for the most part you are safe. People who think like that, like I don't want to like attack you, but it's like just remember we all do similar stuff, but sometimes we have to just sort of remember that, hey, maybe if we think a little bit more outside of the box, then maybe it's something that could act true. So it's like instead of saying this or that, it's like just sort of replace it or get like an idea that someone else might be think this instead. Because just imagine if we all thought people are just going to fucking shoot us when we walk down the street. Can we imagine that we open up the door and all this or that would happen? Look, like things do happen in some communities, but to always just say that or put ourselves in that type of mindset is just like now we're putting ourselves in a position where are we being realistic or not? You have to sort of question that instead of just going out and making all these problems. So I could just see that being an issue overall, but like I mean like you just knocked on a door and it was found out later this is an old lady knocking on doors, mind you. So Let's keep that in perspective. An old lady, she's wearing her mask, and she's keeping like a distance. She like rang a video doorbell. Someone takes a picture of her, puts her online. Like that type of stuff is just so hilarious. So, and I don't hate people like that, but like it gets out of line sometimes. It's like too much. But she was literally, this lady had to say that I'm just letting everyone know that I just wasn't home. I wanted to know like what did she want because maybe I can help her. Maybe I want that. Like I don't know. Maybe there's like something that we can do about it. And if there isn't, that's okay. We'll move on. Instead of being like, "Oh, well," and then like just get all problematic on this. Like the lady looks to be like 60 years old. It's a hard image to see, or maybe even like 70. And she has a teddy bear with her and like a pillow, right? And she's got like she's dressed like generally like well kept like a craftsman. Has the like corduroy pants on and like just a white dress shirt, right? Like that's what she's wearing. And like people are freaking out about this. And the funniest thing is, the funnier part about this is I got kicked out of that group, which is totally fine. And then they would see that, oh, that's a problem. I feel personally attacked. I got to get this person kicked out of the group. The admin, after this lady said on the post that she made, is that, hey, look, like the post that said, like, look, I'm not here to like spread fear or anything. The admin later on, like 10 minutes after everyone was talking and being like, come on, like there's gonna be someone out there commenting on this post, and we don't need hate in this world. And it's not like, oh, like I'm a far left or far right person. I don't really know the difference, which is liberal, which is conservative. Like, I'm more of like a fucking realist, if I can be honest. Like, you can sort of tell the intentions of people by looking at them and just getting that. If you don't understand that, then maybe you need to talk to more people. Like, maybe you weren't socialized enough as a kid. And to be quite frank, like, me as a kid, like teenager, I like rarely talked to people. I just booked it home. I was scared of some people because all they wanted to do was fight. I didn't want to get in that fight, and it's like, I don't hate people, so I guess like I sort of like understand it, but it's like I grew up in a family where things were just sort of like the way that they were, and it's like I didn't understand why things were happening. I wasn't like quite scared of it. It was just like more nervous. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, and I just sort of want to be left alone because I feel like that was my personality, is to be that type of loner, like individual that just stays alone by themselves. And this lady's going on, and we find out later people are like, she sells keychains and like pillows, and she does like a subscription thing where she'll make the pillows and like give them out to you like after like every month or so. You can just get these cool pillows. I imagine she's like stitching in like teddy bears and stuff onto them. And but then there's like the people that would like freak out, and it's like whatever, right? I just think it's awesome. And if this lady is out there, maybe watches one of my videos, I would gladly buy a pillow off of you. I could put it on my bed. A teddy bear, like they're pretty cool. I'm looking and making my own stuff that's similar to teddy bears. Like I do a lot of crafts and arts, anything in between. I like making something out of nothing. And this lady's doing that by knocking on a door. And, you know, she may not even have like a registered business. People are like, oh, is door to door illegal? In certain places, it may be for different materials or services that you are soliciting, right? The word soliciting is, to me, it's sort of like, I guess for many people can be seen as a bad word because it's like, oh, they're doing something. And then people are like, oh no, they're doing something, right? And then the same thing would happen where people freak out. Just because something is stated does not mean it's necessarily right, like a law or anything like that. Like I'm not saying I'm going against things and like, I'm going to do stuff that's immoral, right? Do stuff that is moral. Doing stuff that is immoral is where the problems happen, right? Because it's a law, it's there for a reason, right? If you go against it and something does happen and you get blamed for it, then that's a problem. Otherwise, it's like, what is your mortality? What is your vitality when you're going out there trying to like do something nice? Then next thing you know, defend yourself, and then you get in trouble for it. Like literally, like if you're pushed up against a wall and there's no way getting out and you fight back, literally be charged. Like what is that? Like that's something that would be on the opposite side, but on my side of protecting what people really should be or like want to be or whatever, right? So yeah, that's sort of what I wanted to talk about today. I think I may leave like an image of this lady like somewhere here. If I don't, then you know maybe I changed my mind, but whatever, right? It's just funny seeing this old, and I won't even like tag like the group or anything or the people. but I can show an image. And I got kicked out of the group. I can't find it. If you find the group, like I'm in many different groups across like, across everywhere. So I just want to see like the crazy stuff that's going on in the world. And for people fear mongering and all that, like I hope that one day it all changes for you. But yeah, just remember, people knocking on your door isn't necessarily always like a traumatic event that's happening. And even then, like if you want to talk to me about door knocking and stuff, I'm probably one of the coolest people to talk about with it. Yeah, this lady's helping herself out, helping other people in a community. What do you think about that? Leave it in the comment down below. This lady is kick ass, and I don't really know too much more to say, but peace, love, and happiness. Peace.